What is going on with Shohei Ohtani? It's time to get into the weeds of this thing, baby. What an absolute blender for Major League Baseball. Wow, this is crazy. I don't normally do videos about stuff like this, but this is just fascinating. And I do want to say, I am on Shohei Ohtani's side in all this. I think he's kind of in a bad spot because of a bunch of stupid stuff. So, let's get into it. First of all, we've got the Sporting News article pulled up. You can look up any article. It's all going to say pretty much the same thing. I have this one pulled up because it's organized in a way that I can look through here and look at everybody's names and everything like that. So, we know the general story, right? Interpreter Ippy Mizuhara is betting on sports in California. That's the gist of it. Okay, starting from the Feds standpoint. Feds look into a guy named Matthew Boyer. This is a bookmaker in Southern California. Gambling's illegal in Southern California. I did not know this. That's news to me. It's crazy with all the stuff that they allow in Southern California that gambling's not one of the things, but that's a whole nother story. We're not going to get into that, okay? LA Times drops an article saying that the Feds have linked Shohei Ohtani's name to a wire transfer to pay $4.5 million of gambling debts. All right. Why is this a big deal? Well, like I said, gambling is illegal. And this means Shohei Ohtani, betting in California, is performing illegal gambling activities. Direct link, very straightforward. This comes out. Shortly after that, Ippy Mizuhara, Shohei Ohtani's interpreter, says, hold on, that was me. Ohtani was covering my losses. I lost $4.5 million betting on soccer, football, and basketball. And Ohtani was nice enough to cover it for me. He's my best friend. Okay. That's nice. Then it comes out later, wait, he actually stole this money from Ohtani, and Ohtani had no idea and launched an investigation now into where the money went. I'm not buying it. I'm going to come right out and say it. Now, I want to say this is opinions, okay? Nobody get butthurt, all right? This is my personal opinion. If you disagree, that's fine. I don't care. This is just what I think. But I really do think this is what happened. So, one thing I know about the Feds, they take a long time to put cases together, okay? I've got a friend that works in that world, all right? He knows what they do. They take a few months to gather information. They want to make sure they have a solid case before they get after somebody, especially somebody with a lot of money, because somebody with a lot of money can lawyer up and shoot a lot of holes in an investigation. Matthew Boyer was involved in what they described as a wider probe into illegal sports gambling. It's saying, including former Dodger star Yasiel Puig. I don't really care. Puig's whatever. Now, that's how this all came to be. Now, I don't think the Feds are necessarily after Ohtani. That doesn't make any sense. But boy, Major League Baseball, we know how they feel about illegal gambling, right? So, here's the thing that nobody has talked about as far as I've seen. Nobody's talked about this from the standpoint of Matthew Boyer. There's the obvious questions of, was it Ippy or was it Ohtani placing the bets, right? A lot of people are thinking Ippy's the fall guy, which I'm kind of on board with that. Ohtani's protecting his name. He's protecting his job, right? Matthew Boyer, though, how about this guy? You're telling me this Southern California bookmaker is not a smart guy? My guess is this is a very intelligent guy. Very savvy, very sharp man running this illegal operation. The fact that that amount of money is coming in to his operation tells me that he's very, very good at what he does. What does that tell me about allowing a guy like Ippy Mizuhara to get $4.5 million in debt to you when you have no way of getting that money back, really, unless you send some dogs on him? Matthew Boyer is too smart to allow a guy making $200,000, $300,000 a year to get in $4.5 million of debt in a shorter amount of time. Now, I'm betting this probably took place over the course of a year, about 6 months. But my point is, Boyer, not a dummy. He knew that there was financial backing behind whatever was going on here. He knew he was going to get his $4.5 million, and he knew it wasn't coming from Ippy Mizuhara. Okay? That is what I'm standing on right here. He's going to allow people to place bets if they can put the money up. If Shohei Ohtani's behind the betting that's got him down $4.5 million, he's not sweating it. He knows what Ohtani makes, right? Not a big deal. He's going to let him go and pay up eventually. But somebody like Mizuhara, the interpreter, that's not going to happen. This guy is too smart for that because he's got to get his money too. He's trying to make money. So that's the main thing for me. That's telling me this is a fall guy situation, if you will. Because I really don't think Boyer would be dumb enough to allow somebody without the financial backing to fall that far in debt to him when he's running an illegal operation. I mean, that is a blender for him because you've got to get this money back. You're probably not going to get it back because you have no legal way of getting that money back. That's when things start to get sketchy. And a smart guy like him in today's world, he knows that's not a good place to be in. Also, Boyer, with the information that we have, with it being a wire transfer, he's doing gambling on credit. So that tells me even more that he knew that there was financial backing. Like for me, I couldn't go in there and put a large amount of money on anything and fall that far in debt. They wouldn't let me because I've got no credibility. I don't have any financial backing. So to me, that's the big link here that nobody's talking about with Ohtani. Now, it is suspicious that the story got changed twice. I could see the conversation between these two guys or Ohtani's camp in general saying, hey, your name came up. The money's linked to you. What do? We have Ippy take the fall, say, hey, I was gambling. Ohtani had nothing to do with it. He was just paying my debts. And everybody's like, oh, that's a good idea. Ippy's not in really any trouble. I don't think the feds give a shit, honestly. Then they realize, wait, you know what? Ohtani, he's still on this wire transfer. And wiring money to this guy is illegal. They're like, uh-oh. Well, that doesn't help us. This idea that he was covering the debts does not help us. So then Ippy comes out and says, well, I stole the money. He didn't know about it. Ohtani says, oh, I'm launching an investigation with the authorities. Didn't say what authorities. The feds are already on it. So does Ippy have access to Ohtani's accounts? Maybe. But to take $4.5 million, even with the amount of money Ohtani's making, that would be friendship ruining. And these guys, you can see in this picture here, they're just hanging out. You would have think he would have gotten fired by Ohtani. Even though they're best friends, allegedly. The Dodgers fired Ippy Mizuhara. So, boy. I tell you what I would do if I was in Ohtani's position. Here's how I imagine it went. I'm pretending I'm Shohei Ohtani. I come over. I'm like, yep, I'm here in America. Jump the pond. I'm hitting nukes. I'm striking dudes out. I'm a generational talent. Nobody's done anything that I'm doing. They called me the next Babe Ruth. I came out. I proved that I was actually a better two-way player than Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth didn't pitch the way I do. I brought my best friend with me to be my interpreter. I'm making money. We're living in LA, dude. We're going to party it up. Have a good time. Coming over to America, I could see how he wouldn't have any idea that sports betting is illegal in California when it's legal in like every other state. Maybe he makes a mistake. Maybe he says, whoops, didn't know this wasn't legal, but here we are, $4.5 million in. Let's just pay him and get out. Sure. Now, I don't know if this is the case. I'm just speculating. Then it comes out that he was involved. And Ohtani knows baseball. Ohtani's been in the spotlight. Anybody who knows baseball, like really knows baseball, knows the history it has with gambling. Pete Rose still not in the Hall of Fame. That tells you where baseball stands on that still. And Major League Baseball is goofy for that. I'll admit that. I love baseball, but man, let Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. Judas Priest, man. But aside from that, Ohtani's not a dummy. So as soon as he realizes that this is attaching him to illegal gambling, he reads the writing on the wall. He's like, yeah, this ain't good. This ain't good. I need to play. I want to have a legacy. I want to continue to build on what I've been doing. I love this game. I need somebody to take the fall here. He says, Ippy, I'll take care of you the rest of your life, brother. You just take this for me. Ippy's like, yeah. You're making over $500 million. Probably will make $1 billion in your career. Do whatever you want. Takes the fall for him. That's what I think happened. Now, what's even more suspicious is Major League Baseball has showed their hand. They don't want Ohtani to be suspended. We know this. He's like the driving force behind growing the game. You talk about an international audience. You talk about people watching the game. He's on a team that's going to potentially win the World Series, or they will be in that conversation. They're going to be the best team in baseball this year, probably, unless somehow horrible things happen. They're a star-studded lineup. This is the best possible thing for Major League Baseball, to have Shohei Ohtani on the Dodgers playing into the postseason. They cannot afford to suspend him. They need him. So Major League Baseball has kind of punted on this one. They said, well, according to the story, Ohtani wasn't really involved, so we're not going to say too much, but we'll investigate. They're kind of saying, Ohtani's not involved, we're just going to play ball. Which, I mean, it is what it is. The only reason I have an opinion about it is because I feel bad for Pete Rose. This right here is now where Major League Baseball has to make a hard decision in today's world on sports gambling, which is wild because, boy, sports gambling, you see it on TV all the time. DraftKings, yada yada. Like this, we're in a different time now, ladies and gentlemen. You can gamble on sports. So Major League Baseball might have to adapt. And they don't like backtracking. They don't like backsliding. They might have to let Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. As horrible as that is, apparently, they might have to do it. The easy way out here. Let Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. Say Shohei Ohtani's fine. We don't care. Let the law handle it. MLB can't do that. They have to keep Pete Rose from being in the game because he got handed a lifetime ban, and they got to uphold that for whatever reason. So by that logic, they have to suspend Shohei Ohtani if he is linked to this, which is why they want to ignore any link. The whole thing is suspicious. It is very suspicious. There's a chance, I think, that Ohtani and Major League Baseball together are able to cover this up and get out of it. But I tell you what, people are going to show up with pitchforks and bricks and fight for Pete Rose if they do not suspend Shohei Ohtani. And I am on Shohei Ohtani's side. By all means, I think it's ridiculous that a guy can't bet on the NFL in California. You got people giving out free needles and stuff in California for drug use, man. You got kids walking down the street and there's needles in the storm drain. It's like, and you're worried about betting? Sports betting? Get out of here, man. But whatever. That's a whole other topic. It's a wild scene right now in Major League Baseball. And I feel bad for Ohtani. I really do. What an absolute blender. He's doing exactly what I would do. If I was in his spot and I got caught gambling, I'm not saying he did, but I'm saying if I did and I was him, I'd be doing the same thing. I'd say, look, Ippy, look, brother, you got to take this. Anyway, what a wild scene. I'm excited to see how this turns out. Maybe more information will come out and I'll be totally wrong, but boy, that's exactly what it looks like to me right now. Thanks for listening to me ramble and rant. I appreciate y'all. I'll catch you on the next one. Y'all take care.
The order hitter up, runner in scoring position. Oh, now this one's high and deep. When